Honestly, I just wanted to stay home. I think one of the reasons I came back, apart from wanting to finish off that build, I left the fan on, so I had to come back to turn it off anyway. Had I turned it off, I'd have just stayed home and relaxed and come back in tomorrow. But since we're here now, um, right, we done all the welding. I will rock my apron, but I will not rock the welding jacket because it's too hot. Yeah, let's see how we can wrap this up today. So if I come in tomorrow, it will be on a different build. Right, got it. All right, so where's the strap? There it is. Should I really see that back? Hold up. Oh, you locked. Ah, that's why you wouldn't track because you were locked all along. Ah, there we go. All right, cool. So yeah, I recharged the battery for the gimbal. So hopefully it tracks much better now. I'm not tracking out. That's good right there. Links. Mhm. Nicey, nicey. What's up? No, I'm not from Kenya. I'm from St. Lucia, um, from the Caribbean. Da. Relocate this. Does that view sucks? I'm pretty sure that angle sucked. Let's try this one. Since that's where I'm gonna be. Do what I do. I keep saying I will set up my mic and my other phone to read these comments. Bonjour nom nom. Bon courage. Merci, merci un chai. Après c'est ça. So we're gonna pick it up. We have to pick up the sheet to the set ou bien pile. Well, I think my French finished a while ago. So I will pick up that heavy ass sheet. It's half an inch thick plate and position it vertically to cover that part. Speak French. No, je ne parle français, je parle patois. Moi, je suis Saint-Lucie. So, nous parlons patois, nous parlons patois en Saint-Lucie. Je parle français. C'est des langages là, yo point en chai. So, pour ça, vous comprenez moi. Moi, je comprends other by ou kadi. Pas tout, mais other. We're gonna keep that there. There's some tack welds I need to clean up at the bottom of there. Je suis un soudeur. Ok. Mais comment ça va de là? Vous êtes un soudeur too? You a welder also? Alright, nice. C'est un bel travail qui là. C'est un bon travail. Ça pas qu'à l'état n'importe nom ça fait. On peut wed nom, on peut coco nom. On peut coco nom pour faire ça. I fais tack du bruit. I fais tack du bruit là. Oh, so you speak English too, but you only spoke French. If you still here, num num, what type of welding do you do? What different processes do you do? Morocco. What's the English for Morocco? What is it? the clamp on it. Um, then A, then A. What's up? Leave. Boy, you I can't read French, huh? Alright, so we're going to relocate again since forklift is no longer there. Good friend. Alright, bonjour, bonjour. I'm going to turn on that gimbal, hopefully tracks properly. thing was fucking around. Aziz, what's up? How you doing? Giannis. Though I suck at pronouncing names there, so bear with me. What's up, Giannis? Jonas, what's up? Yeah, I was really thinking I would be able to put this plate in place and weld it. Also, the frames, put them up and weld them. Also, I don't think so. What I might pull off tonight is tack everything in place, and then hopefully come in and weld tomorrow. That's a lot of welding. And not only that, not only it has a lot of welding, I have to rotate. I have to keep rotating that build so I can weld the different areas. plasma gouging. Got some of the material. Alright, that's to rotate it. Ah, ese no es la 10. time is it? I already feel burnt out. I need a vacation, yo. Okay. Right. Let's change the camera view. So I need to line up some holes, and it has to be precise. I won't go there. It has to be precise. Like, this one place. When you get 5 inch let's try this. If you line this up, line it straight up, back in this. You know what? I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, so I'm growing impatient. So I think I'm gonna head home right now, get some rest, and tomorrow I will have to do a part 3. It's 24. Um, I need to square these square bolts have to be in their precise locations, right? So I need to make sure they are. And I'm a bit too exhausted to focus on all this stuff that I had to do. Woo. I think summertime is the worst. I think the heat really drains all my energy. Has me a bit dehydrated also. So I'll go home and chill in some AC and tomorrow. I should come back fresh and finalize that. Put on the frame and get all the welding done. I'll try and come early tomorrow, like early tomorrow morning. Early like 8 o'clock probably. All right, so these holes have to line up. Everything have to line up and fit properly because I really would hate when we deliver that and they're installing it after powder coating it. It does not fit properly. Yep. I mean, that's a nice build. Nice build, nice project. These builds are normally more difficult to get them within tolerance or real precise. As you can see, I had to build it on the floor. Sometimes the floor is not level at all. But it is within tolerance. So I think as long as I can get these holes to line up properly, I can just continue tacking, and then let me get my mask off the floor, and then I can weld. Yep. So I'm gonna leave everything as is. These frames, they have to go one on the left side, one on the right side. These also have to be positioned in the right spot. It's gonna look just like this, but that design is slightly different, as you can see. I think one is a left and one is a right. I think they actually go together, maybe. Not sure. But yeah, shutting off now, packing up, and I'm gonna head home. Thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow. Fuck, hold on. I think I'll just let that record for a little bit. There is yeah, let it record for a little bit for a few more minutes while I pack up. Yeah. You know what, I'm gonna leave this there. So I'll be back tomorrow. For the more expensive things, I'm gonna go home with it. You're probably wondering what's in the bag. drugs, just fucking around. A laptop, in case I have to draw up anything and figure out angles and stuff like that. On the tablet, 18-inch laptop. It's a gaming laptop. I have my drawing programs on it. SketchUp, Fusion 360. What else? Highnest. There's another one again. Like basically CNC programs. Um, I have a 16-inch laptop. Sorry, tablet. I use to explode the drawings and zoom into them and stuff like that. And yeah, that's about it. With its accessories, a mouse, chargers, all that kind of stuff. So in case I come across any issues while I'm building, I can easily get it resolved. I'll be back. I'm still streaming. Why? Because I can. That's what the women say. Because I can. I wish someone would drive me home. But driving is better than taking the bus, right? Yep. I don't live that far away, a few minutes. Like 15 minutes probably. What's the boy doing there? Alright. I see. Good vibes. Just have to close that door and before I leave, I'm gonna get a nice cold beer. Beer, however you guys pronounce it. I'll come in and see. Hold on, wait a minute. What is it saying? It's an impressive construction. Thank you, Jonas. Jonas, that name sounds familiar. I think you've been to that channel before. Yeah. Yeah, software really helps a lot when you have a model. Oh yeah. Sometimes people forget they forget information. Everybody have their own way of doing things. So it's way easier for me if I just draw it up, or I do a line diagram, get the angles, get to the measurements. You know? Yep, I'm gonna have a cool beer before I go home for sure. The build that I'm on, I think there's one more. No. Yes, there's one more. That exact build, and The others I showed earlier. But these builds, I mean, they're huge, but there is one that's really big, like 20 feet build. And that one we have to figure out how to get it out of the shop after we build it. Man, I look real beat up. I'm definitely having a beer, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, I've been at it since I think it was maybe 2 months now. We got all the materials, raw material, stock material. I had to cut everything from a cutlass. That was a lot of cutting. We have real big beams 1 inch thick. We have 14, I think it's 14 inch pipe. It's like an inch and a quarter thick, right? So that's real heavy shit. The plates on that pipe is 2 inches thick, right? And we have to handle that and well it according to the blueprints, position everything properly, so that when it gets to wherever it's going, it can actually just bolt and fit together. So it has to be precise. It's getting painted, most probably powder coated. So we have to clean it up real nice also. Remove all gouges, all BBs. Make it look nice. So then people can get a good product. Yeah, I remember your name, Jonas. I remember your name. Thanks for the support, man. Really appreciate it. I'm kind of new. I'm new. I'm not new to welding, but I'm new to streaming. And I have a lot to learn. But I'm learning every day because I'm trying. As you can see, I have a thumbnail. I actually have a thumbnail. I created a thumbnail this afternoon. Um, yeah, so I'm making changes bit by bit. Because I mean, times are changing. I'm 43, so this is really not my era. I'm from the era where everybody was a tradesman, right? You learn a trade, whether you're a carpenter or a mason, a mechanic, a welder. Guys who learn a trade because they could not go to school. Our parents, well, not mine, but our parents could not afford to send us to college or even high school. Some guys drop out of school when they were like 10 because they just couldn't afford it, right? And they learned a trade. I got to learn my trade because my dad had a fabrication shop. Oh, so you do carpentry then, Jonas? Since you say you do for woodworking. I was always a technical kind of person. I always like stuff like building things. I had the opportunity to do carpentry to learn it. I did technical drawing in high school. But the mere fact that I could not fuse wood together, like I said, my dad had a welding shop. I grew up welding, so I was more fascinated with welding metal together. You know, and I couldn't do that with wood. As much as you can glue it and you can screw it and all of that. But that's why I stuck to metal because you can bend it, you can twist it, you can stretch it, you can shrink it, you can drill it, you can do a whole heap of stuff with it. Then there's a wide range of different metals. I mean, there is a wide range of different wood also. I'm pretty sure if you do woodworking, right? If you do woodworking, then you would know there's different types of wood, and probably need to use them in different scenarios. Same thing for welding and fabricating, different metals for different scenarios. You know. So yeah, where I'm from, a client would never really know what they wanted. They would they would have an empty space and they want something built to solve a problem in the space, right? And that's something that's one of my strong points, to imagine something in an empty space that can solve a problem and design it, build it in 3D. That's why I use SketchUp, build it in 3D, and do the estimate, do the cost estimate, and if they approve of the cost and they approve of the design, I could always alter the design to suit them better. And if they approve of it, I would build it. I would build the item and install it. And that's what I did. That's what I did on the island. I designed things in 3D and I built it. Most times, like on the island also, the projects are different. They're more one-off projects, more custom projects, and you not get a blueprint, right? You not get a blueprint. To get a blueprint, you'd have to really get some big major construction project. But most projects, you don't get a blueprint, so you'd have to design it for the client and explain to them, break it down to them what problems it solves and all that kind of stuff. Why you choose the materials you chose. Most times you'd have to have a balance between the weight and the strength, right? Corrosion resistance, all that kind of thing. Then the price also, how quickly you can do it. Oh yeah, I learned welding with my dad. No woodworking, just now and then, not professionally. Okay, all right, cool. So what do you do then, Jonas? What do you do? Because if you say you do it occasionally, then that means you're a technical guy also. What do you do? What's your profession? I'm also auto body repair tech. So I did both fabrication and auto body repairs. I still do both for them here. On a weekend, I weld and I fabricate. And on a weekday, I repair cars. Right? You're probably wondering why don't I just weld full time? Because auto body repairs is flat rate. So the faster I work, the more money I make. And in welding is more like hourly. You pay you by the hour, more or less. Although on that project, I actually estimated the project. So I'm not getting paid by the hour. I'm getting paid for every single build. So it's up to me to build it. Each build have a deadline, right? But it's up to me to build it as quickly as I want or I can, so I can move on to the other one. Oh man, it's nice to chill and have a drink. So hot outside, It's unbelievable that in the Caribbean it's never cold, never hot. When the sun is out, the sun is hot, but the air is never hot. You never have that heat radiating. But here in Missouri, oh Lord, it is misery. I think that's what really drains my energy. It really tires me, the heat. Oh yeah. Yeah, when you can design something from the beginning and then fabricate it, install it, the client is happy, you're happy, everybody's happy. That's like 120%. When you can do stuff like that, you'll definitely get more customers, you'll definitely get more market share. Because they will spread the word, that you can solve these types of problems. And believe it or not, majority of what I know, I actually learned it on my own. I do a lot of research. I still do a lot of research, right? So I read up a lot on welding because growing up, the only welding process we actually did on island was stick welding. So by the time I was like 10, 11, 12, I was really good at stick welding. I actually taught a few friends how to weld in my younger years. 12, 13, 14, 15. Right? Stick welding and oxy-fuel welding. And I remember going to a distillery once and we were demolishing the tank. And then when the guys were putting together the new tank, it was stainless steel. So one of the guys, they were welding. And I asked him to try it because I was watching what he was doing. And it's almost like oxy-fuel welding. Oxy-fuel welding has a touch. And I run a bid, and that was my first time, and he couldn't believe it was my first time, but it was my first time. And afterwards, I bought my own equipment. I bought my MIG welder. Well, that's years later, right? Because at that time I was like 15 or 16. I bought my first welding machine when I was 20, 26, 28. A MIG welding machine, a Lincoln. Then I bought a TIG welding machine, ACDC 200 amp. And I used these tools to learn how to weld, right? Research and then try things out. And again, I already had a background in welding, so it wasn't that difficult. Oh no, I do it in a shop, in a shop, um, in a certified shop, Casta. Oh yeah, we have breeze, we have ocean breeze blowing 24/7. It's a small island, so you have ocean breeze all the time. So you know, it's always cool. It's always cool. Even when you're out in the sun roasting your skin, the breeze will be blowing on you, and you still feel cool. You know. So yeah, I invested a lot in learning how to weld, like other processes. Like just imagine, right? You don't have that much money, and you buy a welding machine, you buy the consumables, you buy the gas, all that kind of stuff, and you have to find work, right? But you have to know how to weld on the work. So you might try one or two pieces of scrap metal. Then you'd run majority of the training process in your mind, like just imagine welding, imagine the different parameters and scenarios, and yeah, you'd actually, well, I at least actually practiced on jobs. And luckily, they came out all right until I fine tuned my skills, right? So yeah, when I came up here, then I got exposed to even more. How should I say that? More welding scenarios, right? Flux core, dual shielded flux core. Like here we have a small gun. I think the largest we weld here is 045, right? And then I went to Ben Hur. I worked at Ben Hur Steelworks for a few months, and there's that big ass fucking gun with 1/16 wire in it. And I came in for an interview, right? And I'm thinking, like, a sit down interview. But then, apparently, a welding job interview is actual welding. So luckily, I had my mask, I had my shield in my car, and I didn't have a jacket. Like, I gave me a jacket, gave me a pair of gloves, and I was also weld a fillet on a horizontal, a 2G, right? And that's the first time. That's the very first time I welded with 1/16 wire. But again, because of my background, I could easily figure out, like, what was going on. And I tried it out on some scrap metal. I made some adjustments, and then I had like 90 minutes to weld the 2G, and I welded it, and they tested it, and I passed. Like every single weld test I ever did, I passed every single one the first time I did it, because I understood what's supposed to happen, right? And I also understand how to troubleshoot the machines to get the right parameters, even without knowing the numbers, right? Like some people can tell you 25 volts at 310 inches per minute. I don't know jack shit about that. I know what I'm supposed to see and what I'm supposed to hear, right? And I know what happens if I increase my wire speed, if I reduce my wire speed. What happens if I have the right or the wrong angle? What happens if I travel too fast or travel too slow? What happens if I use the wrong weave pattern in a particular joint? You know? So just knowing that, it kind of makes it easier for me. More versatility. Check. Yep. I'm gonna go home and shower and go to bed. Hmm. Oh yeah. We when when I started, right, I was still an employee doing auto body repairs when I started my welding business. I realized a lot of the vehicles that were damaged because on the island we repair a lot of things on the island because we don't have access to parts like up here in the US, right? So I realized bottom pans, front plates, rims, like majority of the aluminum parts of the vehicle out get damaged, right? They would send it to a machine shop to get welded, and the machine shop would use stick welding to weld aluminum. It would never come out good. So I'm saying, but I know I can do that better, right? And that's when I bought a TIG welder and I started doing repairs. So it's like having my own business in the shop I'm working at, right? But I resigned soon after. I went back to school. I went back to college. Not back to college, I went to college. I went to college at 28. I studied mechanical engineering. I got the award for it. It wasn't that difficult for me because I'd already gone through life and learned a whole bunch of things. I could have focused, right? Because I was 28 while everybody else was 18. And when I got out of college, in fact, I was still working while I was in college. I was still doing repairs. I was still working freelance. I worked freelance, auto body repairs freelance. So I'd go to different body shops and repair vehicles, right? And when I was done with college, I decided to focus more on welding. So I stopped doing body work and focused more on welding. And then I grew the business, bought more tools, bought vehicles, did bigger jobs, bigger and bigger and bigger jobs. I never refuse a job. Doesn't matter if I can do it or not. I'll figure it out. I'll just say yes and figure it out, right? It wasn't like now. Now we have AI. You can ask the AI any question and get the answer, right? Back then you had to really go look for the answer if you didn't have it. You know. So yeah, I always look for a better way to do things. That's why I use programs. I use apps. I use programs because I know it's a faster way, easier way to get things done instead of trying to calculate it with a calculator or for pencil and paper, right? So yeah, that's part of my history, part of my journey. My bear is done. Where's it been? Hold on. All right, man. Good chat. I guess I'll see you again. Oh man. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll keep in touch. I'll see you again next time I'm live. Well, hopefully tomorrow, if all goes well. I'm gonna come back in and wrap up that project, that build. All right. Oh, have a good night. And thanks for the support. Thanks for the support. I'm out. Have a good night. Cancel. Is that you said that with the hearing, it sounds very feel safe. What do you mean with the hearing? It sounds very feel safe. I'm not sure what you mean. What do you mean? Oh yeah, dude. I don't know. I think by the time I'm 43, so by the time you hit your 40s as a man, you should have had a lot of experience. You should have gone through a lot of difficulty and come out of it. I think if you can get to 40 and still be sane, then you're strong. Some men don't make it to 40. Some crash out, all kind of shit. Oh, okay. Screw AI is my point of view. Dude, AI, let me tell you, AI has been around for the longest while. They just made it, they opened up the market to us on it, right? But it's been there. A lot of the things we use and do on video games, even the 3D programs, that's AI, that's artificial intelligence. You know, they just did it in a way that we could actually use it. They've been using it for the longest while to do everything, you know. With AI, I'll not say screw AI because AI really makes, for example, I'll give you an example, right? If you if you listen to how I speak, then you realize I don't speak proper English, right? And I cannot even be bothered to do it. I speak two languages. On my island we speak Creole and we speak English. Most times I rather speak Creole or my island slang, right? So imagine if I have to write a letter. I have to write a letter, right? Some kind of letter, some kind of proposal or something business wise. I have to either get somebody to do it for me or wrestle with it myself, or I can get the AI to write it. So I can literally send a voice note to the AI telling it what I want, what I hope to accomplish, all that kind of stuff. And then it's gonna write the letter. You understand? And it writes a pretty damn good letter. So I appreciate it for that. Because if I have to write a letter, dude, won't make any sense. Oh yeah. Yeah, well yeah, I did say I was leaving, but then I saw your message. So I didn't want to just end the live and leave your message hanging. So that's why I responded. Yes, I just locking up this place, and then I'm gonna head home and get some rest for tomorrow. I'll be back here tomorrow to finalize that bill. Try to come early in the morning. This morning I went to the gym for a few hours. But tomorrow I'll come here right away. Yep. All right. So I'm gonna head out now. Oh, you're from the UK? All right, that's nice. That's cool, dude. I have a sister in the UK, and I have a brother also. My eldest brother, he's a bricklayer from the UK. I've been to the UK once, but I think I was 13 at the time. Yeah. Kelly asked where in the UK? Well, I guess that question isn't for me. That's for you, Jonas. I'm gonna stay on until Jonas responds, and then I'm gonna head out. Oh, my sister? I'm not even sure. Who's asking me that question? Kelly Ferguson? Somewhere in the UK. I'm not sure. I've not spoken to her in a while. In fact, I also have two sisters in the UK. A younger one. No, they have no mad person that sit behind me. My car was locked. There's nobody here. Still gonna look anyway, just in case. I should come over. Why? I cannot just do anything. I need a reason to do things, a good reason at that also. Yeah, I plan to come over because my eldest brother he visited the island like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he wanted me to come down because I'm in the US now to meet him and spend time with him because we've never met before. But I was on that project, so I could not leave. And I mean, I didn't say it, but I thought of it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe when I'm done with all of this, end of the year, you know, I might just travel to England, check it out for next year or something like that. Okay, you're gonna be my tour guide, Kelly. You'll take me around and show me the sights. Because don't invite me to England and then I have to figure it out and leave me there stranded. You have to pick me up on the airport and take me around, show me the sights, all that kind of stuff. I think that's probably the only condition. All right, I'll hold you to that though. I'll hold you to that. So I guess when I'm ready and I hit you up, you better respond. don't ignore my messages or my DMs. 9:03. Me lock my time. All right, guys. I'm gonna head home now. I need to shower. I need to eat. I need to rest. And I'll be back here tomorrow, 9 o'clock. And I will stream again. And hopefully I can finish that project tomorrow. I will not go to the gym, so I should have my energy. All right. Thanks for the support, guys. A nice meeting you, Kelly. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Have a good night.